Senate Majority Leader Senator Chuck Schumer joins us live now. Senator Schumer, it's a real pleasure to have you with us tonight. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Rachel. Good to be back on.
Let me ask you, we have a lot to talk about, but let me ask you first about those remarks today from Attorney General Garland. I wanted to just get your response to what he said about the investigation into the crimes that culminated on January 6th at the Capitol, and what he said about Congress's need to act on voting rights.
Well, first, in terms of the invasion of the Capitol, that was one of the darkest moments in American history. It was an attempt to actually change the government illegitimately, which we don't see in a democracy, using violence. And I just hope they throw the book at these people. I don't know the specific cases. I don't know how the exact law applies to each case. But when I read sometimes that they've gotten probation or a short period of time in jail, it bothers me a great deal. So I believe the Justice Department is ramping it up, and they're looking at the perpetrators who led charges, and I hope they will do everything they can to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. About the second question, he's exactly right. We can prosecute these people, but make no mistake about it. January 6th was not a one-off. It stemmed from the big lie perpetrated by Donald Trump. This invasion of the Capitol didn't just come sui generis. He urged people to come. He urged people to march on the Capitol. Many of them who went into the Capitol believed he was urging violence. But the same big lie that created January 6th by Donald Trump is also importuning legislatures, Republican legislatures throughout the country, to dramatically curb the right to vote, and not just everybody's right to vote, but specifically people who tend to vote Democratic, whether it be people of color or poor people or people who live in big cities or young people, people on campuses. So this is a dagger aimed at the heart of our democracy. And the two, January 6th and what's going on in the legislatures, are directly related and all stem from Donald Trump's big lie. The only way to curb this second perpetuation of the big lie is for Congress to act. He's absolutely right.
Because of that connection between the pretext for the January 6th attack and the pretext for these voting rights restrictions that you just described, that the Attorney General described today, I wonder what you make of the fact that a number of Republican senators voted to impeach Donald Trump for what happened on January 6th, voted to impeach him for his role in inciting that attack on the Capitol and that effort to overthrow the election. And yet even those senators will not vote to protect voting rights against attacks that are undergirded by the same claims. What if these things are in fact connected? Why are Republicans who recognize one side of that not recognizing the other?
Well, we're in a different Republican Party than we used to be. You know, voting rights, Rachel, used to be very bipartisan. Ronald Reagan supported extension of the Voting Rights Act. George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush supported it. And when it used to come up in the Congress, it got large margins. What's happened is this is a new Republican Party, and this is a fact we're impressing on all of our colleagues, all 50 of our colleagues. It's a different Republican Party run by Donald Trump, and the fidelity to elections, the fidelity to democracy is no longer there. Donald Trump the other day endorsed Orban. This man's a dictator who is undoing whatever democracy Hungary had. And I believe his beliefs are similar. It's his own ego. He wants to just dominate, and he doesn't care about our democracy, our history, about the rights of people to vote. And by the way, so that is spread. All the Republicans, almost every single one of them, even those 7 who bravely voted to impeach him, are no longer bucking Donald Trump. They've almost all given up. The ones who, some of them have quit. I think 5 Republicans aren't running again, and my guess is, more than my guess, my understanding is a good number of them quit because they didn't want to serve under Donald Trump. But no one on that side of the aisle seems to be bucking him on this issue.